What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a very quick Destiny 2 news update, but a pretty important one, as today Bungie do jump in and talk about their plans for loot in Destiny 2 over the next few months. And so they have posted a dev update, and it focuses on rewards inside of Year 4. Of course, there has been a lot of conversation in the community about the size of the reward pool, the quality of certain rewards in the game, the effects of sunsetting and power capping, all those kinds of things. And so today Bungie jump in and they talk about some things that they'll be doing in Season 13, the introduction of new weapons into playlists, the return of certain weapons from D1, like the Palindrome, additional previews for features coming in Year 4, as well as a very quick look at some of what Transmog is going to enable us to do this year as well. And so guys, we are going to jump straight into it. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, a rating below very much helps us out. But now, let's get into it. Definitely worth checking out the blog if you want a bit of additional context, but they say, while we're still hard at work on improvements to how we rotate gear out of the Destiny power ecosystem, there were a few clear misses with the first rollout. So they say with the content at the moment, the initial reward pool with the release has been too small. And also, it's frustrating to be playing Destiny and to see another player use a weapon that is no longer obtainable in the game. However, they go on to say that these are some big commitments they're making today. So with each season inside of Year 4, Destiny 2 will grow the overall power ecosystem for weapons. With very few exceptions, all weapons that you can take to the power cap should still be earnable in-game. But also, very importantly, future annual releases will contain more new weapons to collect than Beyond Light or Shadowkeep. And so they've straight up said, for expansions, they are going to have more new weapons than what we've seen in the past couple of expansions. And of course, that is a huge positive. But they go on to give a bit more information about changes they'll be making through the course of Year 4. So they say, of course, Season 13 is going to be one of the first chances to prove the commitment to growing overall power ecosystem with each release in Year 4. And while we won't be spoiling new stuff you'll be able to chase in our next season, we do want to touch on a few changes we've made to the reward offering, specifically based on what we've seen in Beyond Light. So in Season 13, they're going to be adding 6 new legendary weapons to our ritual activities, 2 each for strikes, Gambit, and Crucible. But in addition to this, they say that Nightfall strikes are getting 3 unique weapons, with the Palindrome, the Swarm, and Shadow Price making their Destiny 2 debuts. So of course those are D1 weapons that are going to be reprised. They go on to say that if we're brave enough to take on Grandmaster Nightfalls, we'll also be able to earn Adept versions of these weapons. So the Strike Adept weapons they've previously spoken about are going to consist of those 3 weapons, but of course, they're going to be layered between the 2 different modes, with Adept ones dropping from the hardest difficulty. But also having additional playlist weapons drop in with random rolls is going to be a huge bonus, and part of making those playlists actually a bit more interesting and enticing in general gameplay, right? Let us know what you think about that. But next they say in Season 13, we will continue to allow all players to gain Season 11 and 12 weapons in the world loot pool, while Season 10 weapons will be obtainable through a more prescriptive source. And this means that legendary engrams will no longer reward these soon-to-expire weapons, and if you want to chase a specific piece of soon-to-be-capped loot, you'll find it at the gunsmith, which is part of a larger commitment to making sure that players can always earn anything they might need to take on challenging activities. They do say this will require a few exceptions and some updates to the live game, so they say they don't plan on adding methods for players to acquire holiday weapons like the Braytech Werewolf outside of participating in those yearly celebrations. But for updates, this does mean in Season 13, we'll be adding limited time quest weapons like Felwinter's Lie, Whisper of the Worm, and Outbreak Perfected to the exotic kiosk in the tower. So acquisition for those pieces of gear is going to change, as well as the reintroduction of a power-relevant Felwinter's Lie presumably, or at least an ability to acquire the weapon. So that's also a positive. And they say expect to hear more about armor and other holistic upgrades to the way gear rotates in and out of power ecosystems as we harden plans in the new year. Of course, they are going to be taking time off over the holidays and then getting back into it in 2021. And Joe Blackburn from Bungie, who's running this update, says they have a lot of work to do, and while they're looking forward to the break, can't wait to get onto some of the huge stuff they've got coming in the new year. So without spoiling too much, here's a brief teaser of some of the things that are on their way in D2 Year 4. And so Transmog will be coming with Season 14. They've given us confirmation of precisely when that's going to happen now, so that'll be dropping in the first summer season. There are also some work-in-progress captures which we'll take a look at in a moment. But also, DDoS protection is being added for Destiny 2 players on consoles in Season 13. They also say the Vault of Glass raid returns. Not a precise confirmation of when it's going to happen, but they do confirm that crossplay is absolutely happening in 2021. Obviously that's another positive. And then 2 strikes, the Fallen Saber and Devil's Lair, are coming to Destiny 2 in Season 13. So next season in February is when we're going to see those, as well as an update to the Cosmodrome, and then Legendary and Master Lost Sector rotation will be expanded to include the Lost Sectors on the Moon in Season 13, with the addition of 3 new pieces of exotic armor to chase. So 3 new exotic armors for Season 13 also confirmed right there. And here we get a look at some of the Transmog screens. So we've got appearance management with various customization options, and we can see that there appears to be a tab for armor ornaments there, as well as the ability to combine shaders and things with those ornaments. I guess it is a slightly out of context view at the moment, but also looking more specifically at armor pieces, this does tell us that we're not going to have to necessarily go into every single armor piece in order to modify their appearance, and appearance management is going to be kind of an overarching character appearance screen, and having to apply shaders separately to pieces of gear. Of course, that's been a complaint in Destiny 2, but instead of just bringing shaders back as a kind of single-use item, they're putting it all into one place, so you open one menu, and anything cosmetic is kind of manageable inside of that space. So that is an early preview of Transmog, and of course Bungie will have to update us on various other features they plan on introducing with this. But for now, guys, that is what we have to cover in this update. That is the bulk of what Bungie want to talk about. So, of course, new playlist weapons, Adept strike weapons, the return of certain things from Destiny 1. New exotic armor pieces coming next season, with more Lost Sectors to actually run for them. Of course, Season 13 strikes that are being added, and we already know about the updates to the Cosmodrome. Plus the other kind of quality improvements to kind of curve away from a little bit of the pain of sunsetting and power capping. So give us your thoughts about it, guys. I would say actually, considering how many concerns we do have in the community about loot moving forward, it's pretty positive that Bungie have come out at this point in time and kind of spoken about their plans for Year 4, right? I think a lot of the things that they're speaking about definitely sound positive and are kind of going to improve loot in general in the game, how much stuff there is to acquire, but how relevant loot remains right over time, because that's one of the problems with sunsetting. But also, it means that there's more time to kind of consider the grind unlocking certain pieces of gear. Obviously, with significant loot changes that they made to the game in Beyond Light, it was fairly unlikely that they'd be able to add enough rewards, right, in one expansion, that it'd be as kind of expansive as what we had in Destiny 2 already. So it was somewhat obvious that the problem would be less prevalent over time, but it's good that Bungie have given us a bit of context. So once again, let us know what you think down in the comments section, guys, but if you have enjoyed the video, a rating down below very much helps us out. But also, if you're new to the channel, feel free to get subscribed so I can keep you up to date with the world of Destiny 2. Of course, we do have the weekly reset coming up shortly, the return of Iron Banner, and a few other things potentially going on, as well as the next gen update for Destiny 2. Who knows if we'll get any additional secrets? I will be keeping you guys posted, as always, right here on the channel. Man, it's making for another pretty busy day, isn't it? Either way, guys, whatever you get up to, I'll catch you all very soon.